Hey guys, it's Thursday, the morning of August 28th. It's Will Bubidas, PLEA Treasurer, Ken Crane, PLEA Vice President. We got a few burning topics to discuss with you. Haven't been here for a couple weeks. It's also opening night for college football, so go Aggies, and I'll turn it over to Ken.
Hey guys, thanks. A couple of points I want to hit with you real quick. First of all, donation of leave time. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing this. It is something we do need to function. This Friday, you should this Friday you should be seeing on your paycheck, past Friday, you should be seeing on your check a 7-hour leave donation. That what's confusing people is it's going in as minus 7 hours. It's actually a 7-hour credit. That's the 7 hours credited for extra leave time for what it typically would cost them to keep us in the office. So when you get that time, we're asking you to please, if you would, donate that. That's what allows us to keep up the representation for all of you. Another topic I want to hit on real quick is SID interviews, Special Investigations Division interviews. SID is a group within the department, as most of you know, that investigate allegations of criminal misconduct involving city employees, to include police officers. If you're ever called to SID by SID investigators wanting an interview, and for the most part they are doing, I think, a lot better job than in years past on their procedures. But you need to ask them if you're being looked at as a suspect or witness. They'll usually tell you that. A lot of officers run with the mistaken impression that as long as their rights are not read to them, that everything's okay. This is not true, because if you voluntarily go down to sit for an interview, they're not required to read your rights to you. If you ever get called, the first thing you should do is call the PLEA office and consult with a board member. We will put you in touch with attorneys to consult with prior to your interview. The attorneys will not automatically tell you not to interview. They may elect to accompany you to the interview, and after consulting with them, they may tell you that there probably really isn't a problem in giving a statement. But if you hear the investigators say things like, you don't have to be here, you can leave, those are clues and indicators you need to be cued into if you get involved in one of those situations. Next, PSB shooting protocol. PSB is kind of changing up their protocol on critical incident scenes. This would be in custody deaths, serious accidents, officer-involved shootings. What they're doing, and PLEA is on board with this, we support this, we think it's a good change, but at a shooting scene, as long as an officer elects to speak with criminal investigators, they will do a walkthrough and interview with criminal investigators. PSB later on will harvest those interviews to use. They will only call you in for a PSB interview if they feel there are some issues that were not adequately addressed, or there's some cleanup issues that need to be addressed with you. Then they may call you in for a PSB interview later. This will have the net effect of drastically shortening up the time spent on these critical incident scenes out on the street. So we are in support of that. We think it's a good change that will benefit everybody. The last thing I want to just touch on real briefly, the controversy over the officer-involved shooting here in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, the Cusco shooting and the events in Ferguson. It has created some controversy. All I want to tell you is that we put some information out regarding those topics. I don't want to get into it ad nauseum here on this video, but I would direct you to the PLEA website. We've posted a couple of informational pieces on the website. We did do a press conference a few days ago here at the PLEA office, where PLEA President Joe Kluwer addressed a variety of issues in connection with our shooting here in Phoenix, as well as national events. We have uploaded the audio of that entire press conference to include all the Q&A to the website so that you can listen to it. It is kind of lengthy, about 55 minutes, but I think it'll explain a lot of things if you want to take the time to listen to that. That's all I've got for you, so I'm going to pitch it over to Will to cover a couple of additional topics before we wrap up here. Thanks.
Thanks, Ken. Just a couple of topics real fast. The first one is Prop 487. I'm getting a lot of phone calls on that. That is the pension initiative that a conservative group called the Arizona Free Enterprise Club got on the ballot. There's a rumor going around there's two different initiatives. There's just one. It was originally called Prop 401. Now they changed it to Prop 487. It's the same thing. In a nutshell, it closes down the city retirement system for new hires and puts all new city employees, civilians, into 401ks. There's also some debate on if it affects police and fire. In the preamble, it states it does not affect police and fire, but then some of the language in the actual initiative makes it a very gray area, to say the least, of if it does affect police and fire or not. We're going to be sending out a fact sheet next week to you guys with the real effects of the prop. But the important thing is we need to vote no, and we need to rally everybody you can to vote no on it. We're part of the coalition that has been formed with both unions and businesses to fight this. It would be very bad. It would cost the city at minimum over $500 million over the next 10 to 15 years to close down the civilian retirement system, and that's $500 million we could not get in raises, we could not get in more officers, we could not get in a lot of stuff. So it's bad, regardless if it directly affects us or not. It clearly will indirectly affect us. The other issue I want to talk about is the holiday issue. I've gotten a lot of calls from a lot of detectives and plainclothes people who are very upset with the way the department is implementing the holiday furlough. As you know, PLEA did not agree to the holiday furlough. We did not agree. That was something that the city council forced down our throat to make up the 3% concessions that all of the city unions had to take. As you remember, went to council with our arguments and arbitrator's decision that we should not have to take the same concessions as everybody else. They disagreed, and so they ended up, as part of our concession, giving us these holiday furloughs, unpaid holidays, whatever you want to call them. We are still working with the city to come to a solution to implement it fairly throughout. If that can't be done, we will be filing grievances and taking other actions on the issue. So we have a meeting with the city manager next week, and then after that, after we see what his stance is and what he's going to do about it, we will move forward with filing a group grievance on behalf of the entire department, all Unit 4 members, on this issue. Also, this is another reason why you guys need to be involved in the other initiative process, which is the staffing / anti-retaliation initiative that we're running currently, getting signatures for next year's ballot. So we still have petitions at the office. Please come by, pick them up, and get everybody you can to sign them so we can get that on the ballot, so that way we don't have to go through these sort of concessions and these sort of staffing issues ever again. And as always, if you guys got any questions, give me or Ken or Joe a call. We'll be happy to answer them. And have a great holiday weekend and stay safe out there. Thank you.